And we welcome you to another special edition of USA Basketball. Unlike vacationing tourists taking in the sights of Japan, the United States men's basketball team has business at hand this morning in the Hokkaido Prefectural Sports Center in Sapporo City. USA taking on China in the second game of the FIBA World Championship. And good morning, everyone. With Fran Fraschilla, I'm Jim Durham. Glad to have you with us. LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, D.Wade, and USA Basketball trying to make it a 2-0 start in this tournament after their win on Saturday against Puerto Rico.
Well, 6 players, J.D., in double figures for the United States. C.Paul, 11 points and 9 assists, but it was the tri-captains, Mike Krzyzewski's newly crowned tri-captains, led by Carmelo Anthony. D.Wade chipped in with 15. LeBron James, 15 points, 6 assists, and 6 rebounds. 15 turnovers by Puerto Rico, which led to some runouts, and 111 points for USA.
Time now for the starting lineups, and the starting lineups are covered by State Farm. Carmelo Anthony and Shane Battier open at the forwards in this game. Dwight Howard in the middle, C.Paul and LeBron James in the backcourt. Zhu Fangu at one forward, Wang Zhuzhu at the other, Yao Ming in the middle, and Wang Shipeng in the backcourt along with Yu Wei. The officials working this game: Zavalonis from Greece, Delgado from Venezuela, and Jovcic from Serbia and Montenegro. Elton Brand and Antoine Jameson. There you see Nate McMillan, one of the assistant coaches in the background. And the rule differences once again between the NBA and FIBA: 4 10-minute quarters, a shorter three-point line, 5 personal fouls instead of 6, and the free throw lane is trapezoid in shape as opposed to the rectangle in the NBA. And Yao Ming coming back from that broken foot injury. And of course, the Houston Rockets will be keeping close tabs on him in this game. And well, he had 30 in their Game 1 loss to Italy.
Well, Yao Ming finished the NBA season very, very strong. 22 points, 13 rebounds a game after the All-Star break. The broken foot in April, and you are right. Jeff Van Gundy of the Houston Rockets have got to be happy to see Yao starting to come back in form.
There's a look at the pool Group D. By the way, Italy has already won tonight, so a good Italian team is at 2-0. And the United States are trying to get to that 2-0 mark, which they can with a win over China. China losing yesterday to Italy, 84-69. Puerto Rico bounced back after losing to the United States. Puerto Rico a winner over Senegal. And Puerto Rico evens it up at 1-1. Slovenia losing to Italy, and Slovenia is now 1-1 in Group D. Remember, the top 4 teams in each pool advance to the quarterfinals.
This is a China team that was thrashed in the exhibition game in Guangdong, 119-73, but no Yao and no Wang.
And the U.S. controlling the opening tap. Taking the early lead, Shane Battier.
How many times, J.D., in that game versus Puerto Rico did the USA utilize that left corner to knock down some threes? That's become a familiar spot in Mike D'Antoni's offense for Mike Krzyzewski.
United States opening man-to-man, fronting Yao off the ball.
Yao did a very good job at the end of the NBA season of handling the double teams.
That's Wang Zhuzhu muscling his way.
Well, the first Chinese player to play in the NBA with the Dallas Mavericks, and he's back in the good graces of the Chinese team. We'll get into that.
How about that? Dribble penetration by Battier and scoring over Yao. Battier opens with the first 5 for USA.
Battier and Yao will team up with the Houston Rockets.
Personal foul called on C.Paul.
Talked to the Rockets assistant coach Tom Thibodeau, who spent 2 weeks with Yao in China. They love Battier's ability not only to hustle, but also to be a post feeder for Yao.
Now Yao operating in the post against Howard. Knocked away. Quick hands by the U.S.
Pressure defense leading to pressure offense, Mike Krzyzewski's philosophy.
Some trap there on Paul. Anthony with a look-away move. Wang Zhuzhu, the rebound for China.
The weakness, JD, of this China team will be the backcourt. They must handle the basketball.
Yao on the miss. LeBron James on the advance. Another nice feed. Howard against that big size of China, and Dwight Howard will get to the line.
JD, we talked about how much you see Dwight Howard has brought energy to this front line of USA, but it's interesting. A lot of teams will zone the United States. The coach of China, Jonas Kozlowskis, a Lithuanian, believes in man-to-man defense. He'll try to play it as long as he can.
Dwight Howard with the free throw. Howard is now 5 of 6 from the line in this competition, as he went 4 of 5 yesterday against Puerto Rico.
Well, you got to love the development of this young big man.
So the U.S. opens by scoring 7 of the first 9. Some pressure here in the backcourt. The strength of China, as Fran mentioned, is up front, but to compete successfully against the United States, as Yao delivers 2 right there, you've got to have good guard play.
There's a good example. Good post feed because they were able to handle the pressure in the backcourt.
Anthony.
Boy, how good has he been throughout the exhibition series and first game and a few minutes here.
He's been the best player for the United States.
Yes, he
has. Again, they punch into Yao. And dropping down is Battier, and he gets called for a reach-in foul.
This is where Yao is really improved. He's able to get deep post position. He did a great job of this at the end of the NBA regular season. And that time he muscled Howard and got to within a foot of the basket.
Yao Ming was 6 of 7 from the line in their opening game loss to Italy. But he did score 30 points, and he did pull down 9 rebounds. And he's got 4 points early in this game. C.Paul. United States opening much more relaxed, it would appear.
Oh, you're right. You are right. I think they were really, they care. You know, that's the key with this team. They care. Anytime you care, you're going to be a little bit nervous when you represent your country.
And Wang Zhuzhu on the turnover. Here comes the U.S. in transition. And it's James knocking it away. Still up for grabs. Controlled by Paul, who knocks out a 3.
Sometimes I think C.Paul needs to take the ball to the basket, not look for the highlight play. We saw that the other night. He's so unselfish, but you don't want to pass up scoring opportunities.
The U.S. with an 8-point lead and 6.5 left in the quarter, and another China turnover. LeBron James sends it off into the corner. And a rare miss for 3 out of that left corner as Howard is fouled on the offensive rebound.
Well, Howard at 21 years old does not look like he's 265. Carries that weight well, but C.Paul is a scoring point guard. And oftentimes we've seen in the first game plus looking to make the extra pass, but you've got to take those shots when they're there. That's good rhythm.
And that is that gives him 7 points here in this opening quarter. Howard back to the line. Dwight Howard continuing a strong free throw showing in these first 2 games.
This is a young man with high character at a Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy. Father's a state trooper. Mom's a teacher. And has handled the NBA life very well so far early in his career.
And he's made his first 4 free throw attempts tonight. C.Paul getting looked at. Keith Jones, one of the athletic trainers for the United States from the Houston Rockets. 10-point USA lead with 6 minutes left in the quarter. Wang Zhu turning it over and coming back the other way. We get a whistle.
International players very adept at fouling in the backcourt to eliminate the transition easy basket.
And that was called on Zhu. That would be his second foul, I believe. Apparently not. China controlling. And as Yao tried to load the follow, there is a foul on USA.
Well, if you're a fan of the Houston Rockets, you've got to be happy with the early play of Yao, who by accounts, talking to the Houston Rocket people, they think he's about 80%. I mentioned Tom Thibodeau spent 2 weeks at the end of July working with Yao, and he's only come back to the national team within the last couple of weeks. So this is a rusty Yao Ming, but certainly a good sign.
But he has scored 5 points to start out and now has made all 4 of his free throw attempts. Battier, Anthony. And that's a 3 for Carmelo Anthony.
Well, you are right, J.D. Ball moving well and shots with confidence, and Carmelo continues to sizzle.
And this was lacking at the start against Puerto Rico for the U.S. They missed a lot of open shots in the early going. Personal foul called on LeBron James. First foul on LeBron James. 14 fouls on the United States.
Well, this is a young China team, maybe the youngest in this tournament, 10 players.
Yi, the 19-year-old, number 11, in the lineup now. 6'11".
I think it's 9 players under the age of 25.
Oh, that's a nice move on the comeback, but he couldn't get the shot to drop. Anthony with the jam.
Well, it's apparent and obvious. China very slow in transition. USA taking advantage of the easy open court opportunities.
As the jam by Anthony gives him 7, and the United States has opened up a 13-point lead with a timeout taken.
Wherever you're going, there's a car company that wants you to get more out of a gallon of gas. Chevy. 9 out of 10 cars we sell get an EPA estimated 30 highway miles per gallon or better. Here's one that doesn't, but it still gets 26 mpg highway. Chevy, we're taking a full tank further. That's an American revolution.
Well, the technical term for what I do is neurosurgery. I am a brain doctor.
I'm a lifeguard. I save people.
I'm a race car driver. Formula 2. One.
Me, oh, I'm a hand model.
20 million? No, that's not enough. I'm a big game hunter, cage fighter, lumberjack.
Must get lonely out there.
Yeah, well, I do have the dolphins. I'm an author. Mostly books.
You told my friend you were a lawyer.
In the off-season.
Welcome to subliminal advertising. Please do not blink. Subliminal advertising complete.
A whole new 5 out there for the United States. You saw D.Wade. They also have Elton Brand, Kirk Heinrich, Antoine Jamison and Joe Johnson. U.S. up by 13, its biggest lead in this quarter against China, and 4:45 left.
Well, this is a game Mike Krzyzewski will mix and match.
Heinrich with a steal. That familiar spot for Joe Johnson, but the corner three wouldn't go this time. But he recovers his miss. Now Wade circles in, gets turned away by Yao Ming.
Wade did not have to worry about that in the first game.
Antoine Jamison defending. Loose ball rebound to Heinrich. About 4 minutes remaining. Antoine Jamison. And it's Wade tracking it down. Oh, yeah. D.Wade Wade putting the U.S. up by 15.
Well, there's no way, J.D., that China can match this kind of athleticism. They've got Yao and Wang back, but it may not make a difference.
Not many teams in this tournament can match this kind of athleticism, and you know, we'll show you at the half how many NBA players there are throughout this tournament, but they don't have the depth the United States has.
Well, you see the great move by Wade here. Crossover, uses the glass. It's something Mike Krzyzewski talked to him about during the training camp. He said, "Where'd you learn to use the glass like that?" He said, "My college coach, Tommy Crean, challenged me to continue to improve my game in different areas," and you see how good
Yao Ming continues to pour him in. 7 of the 9 points. We talked about how well he did on Saturday against Italy. 30 points, 9 rebounds.
And he talked about the trade in the Houston Chronicle the other day, and he likes the fact that Battier at 28, Tracy McGrady 27, Yao will turn 26. The window is about a 4 or 5 year window for the Rockets.
The U.S. working on the perimeter. Heinrich, Joe Johnson. And it's Elton Brand delivering from the baseline.
And that's the first possession of zone for China. They did not match up well. Man to man.
China having some difficulty getting it across. Here's Yao over Brand. Heinrich collects the rebound.
No double team. They're playing Yao straight up with a little help from the perimeter.
Heinrich fouled in the act of shooting. 2 free throws coming for Kirk Heinrich.
Kirk Heinrich, as solid a start as he's gotten off to his NBA career with the Bulls, certainly has continued to open eyes with his play for Team USA. Toughness defensively, playmaking, also shown the ability to score from the perimeter. Basically all the things, J.D., he did at Kansas.
Absolutely. So Heinrich splits the free throws, but the U.S. recovers, and that's a 3-point play the hard way. Elton Brand with 4. And we get a timeout taken with 2:48 left in this opening quarter. So the United States off to a 18-point lead at 28-10 in their second game in Group D in the FIBA World Championship. Game 3, Tuesday, 6:30 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. They'll be taking on Slovenia, a team that is loaded with NBA personnel.
You are right. 4 first-round draft picks. Rasho Nesterovic leads the way, the Toronto Raptors. 7 players in all on that Slovenia team drafted by NBA teams. And interestingly, you got to go back, J.D., to the early 90s with the breakup of the former Yugoslavia.
Right.
Because you've got Serbia, Croatia, Slovenia, all which produce NBA talent now, but not in one group.
Bostian Akbar, Beno Udrih. Talk about Rasho. And the United States with their 12-man roster. The minutes evenly distributed, although Brad Miller didn't get in the game the other day, yesterday against Puerto Rico.
That'll be interesting. Mike Krzyzewski did go 11 deep. Brad Miller, I think, will get some time today. But remember, Chauncey Billups not here. Kobe Bryant. Well, this is part of a Team USA that has 24 members right now.
Nice move by Yao, and a foul called back to the free throw line for Yao Ming.
That has become one of Yao's signature moves, the quick spin baseline. When you have the jump hook middle, and it's got to be honored, that spin baseline is a good counter move. That time he caught Brand.
Yao has made all 7 of his free throws, 9 points. As you see, highlights of Yao's career. You know, with Brad Miller now making his first appearance in the tournament for the United States. Elton Brand going out with 2 fouls. You know, when you look back at the Rockets season, the way it ended last year, I think in some respects the silver lining for them could have been the injury to McGrady, in that when Yao was the guy, he was the guy.
You're absolutely right, JD. And remember this, because of the season, they got the 8th pick in the draft, which they were able to turn into a trade, Rudy Gay for Shane Battier. So that is a silver lining.
Wade.
I don't think anybody in the Houston organization last October thought they would get the 8th pick in the draft.
Yeah, they had been coming off a playoff run the year before. And the U.S. coming up with a steal.
Well, very sloppy basketball by China.
Very unselfish by the U.S. Joe Johnson missing for 3. Miller with the rebound. Here goes Wade. Out to Jamison. Yao kept that ball alive for China. And a foul here on Miller.
Well, Yi, the 19-year-old you talked about, one of the top young prospects in the world, doesn't finish there, but very aggressive. 14 points and 9 rebounds in the exhibition game.
Wang Zhuzhu returning for China. And Chris Paul back in for the United States. China, of course, will be the host country in the 08 Olympics. And they're hoping that by the time that Olympic season cycles up, that these younger guys will have a couple years experience.
So you're absolutely right. 9 players, as I mentioned earlier, under 25. This young man, Yi, who's only 19, has been on the international scene since he was 16. A great performance in 2003 in the World Under-20s.
So China has been able to put 4 in a row on the board, and the U.S. lead is 14 this trip. Here goes Wade.
Wow. Much more business-like approach. This team has come out with confidence, no jitters. Wade with a spectacular drive and to finish off the rim.
And Wang Zhuzhu's a 7-footer that he finished against. Pretty good ball movement by China that trip.
You know, I watched Lithuania yesterday, and it's basically the same system.
Yi lost it at the rim. 40 seconds left in the quarter. Joe Johnson gets that one.
Well, solid open court basketball, but it's really been a breakdown by China defensively. USA, again, much more relaxed, getting great looks.
And the 3 goes down. That's Fangu Zhu with that 3-point field goal, the final seconds of the quarter. And Wade unable to finish that time over the size. And the first quarter has come to an end. The United States at one time led by 18 in this opening quarter. And they've got a 15-point lead after 1.
What? You said we were going to be paying less. I'm State Farm Agent Demetrius Simon, and this is a true story.
Making ends meet is tough with a new baby.
When another company kept promising to save us money on car insurance, we believed them.
Guess what? We were charged more.
A lot more.
We switched back to State Farm because we've got an agent we can count on.
Anybody can promise you a good price, but nobody takes care of you like State Farm. Call an agent today. I think someone's had an accident. Oh.
Like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there.
This time I'm gonna be KG. Alright, I'm D.Wade. 2, 1. All day, baby. All day. What? Ready, Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. I'll tell you what's coming, and you still won't hit it. Bring it then. Why don't you try it on your hand?
Want to keep the game going? Gatorade.
Ready to lose again? Shut your big head up.
Is it in you?
Introducing the hands-free NBA lineup. Distinctive LCD televisions for basketball fans of all ages. Hands XXL. Hands Ball Champions. Hands Backboard. Hands-free. Find yourself. Sports. Fantasy. Style. LCD televisions as unique as the people that own them. Hands-free. My style. My TV.
Whether you're dominating the playground, the last one to leave the gym, or you're big time like Mike Bibby, the Better Basketball videos will explode your game.
Even I've learned some things, working with Better Basketball. It's just unbelievable.
I've seen so many different videos over the years. You will not find finer tapes than what Better Basketball is offering.
Learn more about all 7 DVDs from BetterBasketball.com. If you buy 6, the 7th is free. Order now at BetterBasketball.com.
And the second quarter underway with the United States leading China by 15. USA with that starting group back on the floor, and Dwight Howard taking down the rebound.
That's only the 11th field goal attempt for China. 3 of 11 so far.
Anthony scored the basket and a foul.
JD, we talked about this in the Puerto Rico game. What's made him so good is the versatility, the ability to hit the three, but then also you see this is the way he plays in terms of being able to score from different angles, different spots on the floor.
And Carmelo Anthony with 10 points in the game, the first United States player to get to double figures as the U.S. has equaled its largest lead.
Mike Krzyzewski has raved about Carmelo Anthony from day one in terms of his attitude and his ability.
Sun Liu. And the three-point hit nailed by Wong. Song-Tu Wong. Oh, score 2 more and another chance at a three-point play.
Chris-Paul got off to that sizzling start. Back in and picks up where he left off. Look at him use the glass and extend over the outstretched arms of the big China defenders.
And now Chris-Paul with a chance to get to double figures. 10 points for him.
Much more controlled pressure in this game. Less gambling. We talked about the Puerto Rico guards, 61 points between them. Too much gambling yesterday.
Yao Ming working high. Nice feed on the back door.
How about Yao? He scored inside. Excellent look.
Paul. Anthony. Paul with the rebound. Took a bump, no call, and then hits.
Well, Chris Paul is much more aggressive offensively than he was yesterday. Felt yesterday he was almost trying to overpass, keep everybody involved.
Boy, the U.S. with 40 points on the board and 8.5 left in the half. They scored 111 on Saturday against Puerto Rico. Here's a reach-in foul called on Howard.
You see the aggressive double team. I felt yesterday they could have been more aggressive against Arroyo on those pick and rolls. Now the trap.
China with the ball in play. China with the great post play, of course, with Yao Ming, and really, to complement that, they need to develop a perimeter game.
Well, you always say as a coach, J.D.
That was Juju blocking the shot by Anthony, and then Carmelo got a hand on the pass.
The first post defender is always the guy guarding the passer. And so if you can pressure the guards, it doesn't matter how good Yao is inside, but you see the aggressive play by Anthony in attacking the basket. And you can see how far out that guard pressure is by Team USA. They switched. Very versatile defensively.
Oh, there's another three-point field goal. The second of the game for Songtiao Wong. So China stays within 15. LeBron James. Things coming pretty tough on the inside for the U.S. right now. And it's LeBron James with a rebound. Now Paul. Good feed to Dwight Howard.
Chris Paul has just been outstanding from day one. Look at that look. And the power. Two 21-year-olds, J.D. Two young players for Team USA.
And a foul called as the United States with Carmelo Anthony coming out, putting pressure on the guards.
You mentioned China building for 08. Remember the NBA connection. Del Harris of the Dallas Mavericks, longtime NBA coach, coached China in the 04 Olympics. His assistant coach, Jonas Kazlauskas from Lithuania, the great national coach, has taken over. So this building process will take time.
You saw Chris Bosh in the lineup for the United States. Number 9, Sun Yu, has come back on for China. And that's Sun with the ball into Yao. And it was Howard working quickly around Yao to poke that dribble away. LeBron James. Boy, a lot of talking out there on that defense.
Well, Sun Yu shot that ball quickly. Yao had established position.
LeBron James unable to convert against Wang Zhuzhu, but China controls, and another three makes it a 14-point game.
Well, they're getting the open looks off transition because USA is not covering the three, so it becomes feast or famine for China, but right now they're knocking them down.
And Paul got inside, and a foul called on China.
China only had 10 field goal attempts in the first quarter, only 3 of 10, because they turned the ball over a lot. Now they're shooting quickly off the break and knocking some down.
At the line for USA, number 10, Paul.
Chris Paul at the free throw line for the United States. Paul already with 12 points.
Talked to Skip Prosser, the coach of Wake Forest, the other day. Chris Paul grew up in Winston-Salem. Interesting, J.D., his senior year, he went to almost every Wake Forest practice he could when he was a senior in high school because he wanted to learn the system.
Paul splits the free throws, a 15-point advantage here at the Hokkaido Prefectural Sports Center. I'm Jim Durham with Fran Fraschilla. Glad to have you with us on this early Sunday morning as the U.S. is taking on China, trying to improve its record here in the FIBA World Championship to 2-0. U.S. getting the turnover and have a chance to extend on a 15-point lead. 18 has been the biggest for the Americans. They were up by 15 at the first quarter stop.
You see how the court is spread?
And Dwight Howard has the shot blocked, but a foul called.
One of the things you saw there, J.D., is Mike D'Antoni's philosophy offensively is to not really lock down the post with post players. Keep the floor spread for dribble penetration. That time, LeBron James with an excellent play.
At the line for USA, number 12, Howard.
And so Howard back to the free throw line for the U.S. Perfect in 4 tries in this game, and he is 8 for 9 in this tournament. Seven points for Howard.
The young man has already averaged 11 rebounds a game in his 2 NBA seasons. Imagine how good he's going to be when he's about 26 years old.
All of these guys, when the 08 Olympics roll around, 2 more years of experience for them at the NBA level as well as in an international situation, although a gold medal winner in this tournament gets an automatic berth into the Olympic field.
That time a little gamble in the post.
And a foul on Battier. That's his second. Yao Ming has lived very well at the free throw line tonight for China. His first miss. 10 points for Yao. You know, we've noted in his game already in this game today, his footwork looks to be just like it was, and Wang Zhu unable to convert off the rebound. So his recovery looks like it's going pretty well.
No, it has. He's got his personal trainer, Anthony Falzone, has been with him all summer in China.
And Yao with the rebound there.
See, they're better off shooting those quick threes if they're not going to get it to Yao, because they're going to turn the ball over the more they handle the ball in the half court.
An open shot is an open shot. If it comes early, so be it.
Yeah.
There, it's just what you were talking about, although they get the kind bounce there.
See, now in the half court, you need to establish Yao.
Howard clears for the U.S. LeBron James.
There's no way when you get ready for Team USA you can simulate this kind of quickness in transition. That has really hurt China.
So LeBron James with his first 2 points in this game, and we get a timeout taken with 3:47 left in the half. Mike Krzyzewski's club now with its biggest lead at 19.
At the edge of the city.
It's on. Midnight.
Nighttime is showtime.
It's a street ball. The greatest game never seen.
On September 1st.
Jules hasn't lost in 3 years.
Put it all on the line.
Good game, man. Let me know when I have a balance. Sucker.
Leave it all on the floor.
We can beat him. We'll beat him together. If a man wants something he never had before, he got to do something he never done before.
Crossover. Rated PG-13. In theaters September 1st.
Chevy Impala SS with active fuel management, which means that a powerful 303 horsepower V8 also gets great highway mileage. Since Impala SS gives you 8 cylinders for power and 4 cylinders for better fuel economy, there's also the security of a 5-star frontal crash test rating. The Impala SS. It's a whole new animal. That's an American revolution.
Look at this! You were in the zone! Will Donnie like me better in the red or the black? Because he just asked me out.
And you said yes?
Looks like somebody missed snack time.
Get back to your senses with a new way to snack. McDonald's Snack Wrap. Tender all-white premium chicken breast meat with lettuce, cheddar jack cheese, and ranch sauce in a soft flour tortilla. Try it for just $1.29.
What was I thinking?
That you get to wear new shoes.
Welcome back to our coverage of USA basketball at the FIBA World Championship with Fran Fraschilla. I'm Jim Durham, and it's early on Sunday morning in the United States, but it's in the evening there in Japan, and the U.S. leading China by 19. New 5 back on the court. Actually, the second group back on the court in this game. D.Wade. It's almost as if, Fran, that Mike Krzyzewski likes to keep one captain with each group, at least one captain.
And I think this is a game he's going to be able to rotate freely, obviously. We talked about maybe needing to tighten up the rotation as the tournament goes along.
C.Paul delivering both free throws, 13 points for him, and the USA with a 21-point lead.
Well, this looks like they will breeze through the preliminary round. They'll have some tough games.
I think Italy
could give them trouble.
Right.
Slovenia possibly, but this is like a non-conference schedule, JD, before they get the tournament play.
And then it's one and done if you don't get it done, right?
Exactly right.
Antoine Jamison sending it on to Wade. A 3 for Jamison.
Only one turnover today by the United States in the first half, but great ball movement and much more relaxed group.
But as we are looking ahead somewhat to a match with Italy down the road, as we continue to say, now they've got good guards.
Yes, they do. Basile, Bellinelli.
But the guards for the USA aren't bad either. And there's D.Wade adding 2 more to his total, leading to a timeout as the United States continues to pull away in the late stages of the first half.
When we got married, suddenly we had 2 of everything.
They had a lot of stuff.
2 dinette sets, 2 dogs.
2 car insurance companies.
I'm State Farm agent Joan Roysam, and this is a true story.
We had to get rid of a few things.
Yeah, mainly my things.
He had State Farm.
She had a Gecko.
I helped them compare rates and coverage.
It was no comparison.
He was right. For once.
This time, one of my things stayed.
Last year, 1.3 million drivers switched to State Farm. Call an agent today and you'll switch too.
Like a good neighbor.
State.
What happens when you move Comcast high-speed internet into your house? Well, pretty much everything. Because with Comcast, you get speeds up to 7 times faster than DSL, with free protection from McAfee Security, so you can shop and pay bills quickly and securely. Play games online, stream content, listen to your own commercial-free radio station. Plug into a better network with Comcast high-speed internet. Just $33 a month for up to 12 months. Comcast, the power of one.
It doesn't matter how rich you are, how poor you are, you know, whether you're white, black, gay or straight, man or a woman, the same rules will apply to everyone equally. It's that easy. It's an easy solution. And it's very, very simple. And I like simple ideas that use the tools you already have at your disposal. We got to get our elected representatives to do what's right, no matter what they think is best for their personal business. I mean, that's how you stay honest, is you tell people, here's my conflict, but despite my conflict, I will do what's right for the people I answer to.
About ready to resume with 2:43 left in the half. The U.S. up by 26 now. United States defeating China in the exhibition run and handily, but that was a game in which Yao Ming and Wang Zhuzhu didn't play, but it doesn't seem to matter. Nice move there. That's Yi.
Well, whenever he declares for the draft, he will be a high first-round pick. And that play right there was an indication why.
Joe Johnson. Elton Brand having a tough time getting a look over Yao.
China playing mostly man-to-man in this first half, and the better teams in the tournament, as the deeper the U.S. goes, will play zone.
Another 3-point hit for China. And that's the second 3-pointer for Fangu Zhu. Here goes Wade. Yep, and a foul.
And JD, you see how difficult these guys are to guard in the half court. And it's my feeling that Coach Kozlowskis knows they're going to get beat. And this is just a way for them to improve. But if you have any chance at playing the United States in this tournament, most of the teams are going to have to zone them like Puerto Rico did.
Yeah, the U.S. has been vulnerable to zone.
Yes, they
going
have.
back to the Olympics of '04. Wade completes the three-point play.
This international team, this team that's been put together by Jerry Colangelo, is really made for international play with the versatility and the quickness.
Heinrich putting pressure out front. Miller comes to help in a double team, and it's Wade with a steal. But he could never get taxied out onto the active runway. As the foul was taken in the open court. You talked about that earlier, Fran, that China is very good at that, stopping the thrust up the floor, taking the early foul.
Well, it's part of international basketball. Teams would rather give up a foul on a player than give up the open court layup.
And Wade tonight, 2 for 2. He's also in double figures, so the United States now with 59 points on the board. And still better than a minute and a half for the half.
I think, J.D., the one difference in this game defensively for the United States, less gambling and obviously less dribble penetration. Of course, these guards are not as good as Arroyo and Ayuso.
And that's Yi connecting there for his second field goal. 6 points for him. And China getting the turnover as the U.S. coughs it up. One of the rare turnovers for the United States in this half. Less than a minute. Running out of time on the shot clock, but it won't matter now. Who wants this? D.Wade says, I'll take it.
Well, this has been a big part of their offense since they've gotten together. That first exhibition game against Puerto Rico. When you force a turnover, turn it into offense at the other end.
Slight difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Spotting up for three. Oh, yeah. The third three-pointer for Wong in this half.
Well, that three-point shooting by China has kept them reasonably close.
Wade again. 15 for Wade as halftime has come here at Sapporo City. D.Wade Wade and the United States USA basketball team walking off with a huge lead over China.
Another behind-the-head pass. This time Augustus finishes.
Hey.
Hey. That'll be 75.
It's usually $30.
I went to Vegas last weekend. Pretty crazy. Although it seemed like you were having a much better time.
So, 75?
Yep.
Nice job on the lawn today.
We aim to please.
For 10 years, the WNBA has inspired people of all ages. The WNBA family cares about the community. They encourage young girls and women to develop a healthy, safe, and active lifestyle, and are committed to helping children understand the value and joy of reading. The WNBA continues the tradition of combining basketball and service to the community. WNBA cares.
Here's Michael at the foul line. He shoots a reload. No good. Michael misses. Cleveland wins. They're waving beyond the horizon.
If you're a fraction off, it can change everything. On the field and in the lab, where Gatorade scientists test and retest athletes so we know exactly what their bodies demand. Precision counts. Out there and in here.
Must be about 2:30. Cheryl's using correction fluid to do a French manicure. Brandon's got himself another tossicle. And Adam will be attacked by killer bees in 5, 4, 3, 2. Looks like somebody missed snack time.
Get back to your senses with a new way to snack. McDonald's Snack Wrap. Tender all-white premium chicken breast meat with lettuce, cheddar jack cheese, and ranch sauce in a soft flour tortilla. Try it for just $1.29.
Nice nails, Cheryl.
It begins with over 8,000 players, and anyone can win. From the first flop to the final table, watch the game's brightest stars and biggest dreamers walk the line between skill and luck. Who will win $12 million in cash? The one and only World Series of Poker main event begins Tuesday at 8 on ESPN, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light.
ESPN2's presentation of USA Basketball, brought to you by McDonald's and Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Gatorade, is it in you?
Here in Sapporo City, Japan, the United States with a 25-point lead over China at the half, 63-38. D.Wade with 15 points, leading the U.S. in scoring at halftime. The U.S. trying to go to 2-0 in the FIBA World Championship and keep pace with Italy. Italy already having won today its second game. Now it's time to check in on all the sports news of the day as we go to ESPN News with Cindy Brunson.
From ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, this is ESPN News.
Welcome to this ESPN News Update. I'm Cindy Brunson. Saturday started with a collection of 4 newcomers in the lead at a major, but the day ended with a very familiar name atop the leaderboard at the Medina Country Club. Moving day at the 88th PGA Championship, Tiger Woods looking for his 12th career major. On the first hole, facing a long par putt, Woods is true.
How about this?
Gorgeous. Tiger geeked about staying at 7 under on number 15. Tiger in the fairway, but out of a divot. Tiger on the way to shooting a course-tying 65. It's tied for a share of the lead with Luke Donald at 14 under. NFL preseason action, Cardinals Patriots, second quarter, Cardinals down 13-0, and we get a look at Matt Leinart, and he gets blitzed. Scrambles and gains 16 yards, moves the chains, picks up the first down in the third quarter. Redbirds down 13-3, Leinart dropping back, throws, it's caught by Eric Edwards who does the rest. New England, though, wins 30-3. The Vikings and the Steelers, big Ben Roethlisberger making an unexpected start despite that bum thumb. First quarter was scoreless. Steelers in the red zone. Roethlisberger, Cedric Wilson, 16 yards, touchdown. Roethlisberger 3 for 4, 30 yards in that touch. Vikings win. According to the Tuna, T.O. is a no-go for tomorrow's Monday Nighter against the Saints. Thanks to his tender left hammy, Terrell Owens has only been able to participate in 5 Cowboys practices, and in Bill Parcells' book, that's simply not enough, even for a 5-time Pro Bowl wide receiver. Little baseball, Yankees and Red Sox at the Fens. Jorge Posada and company looking to take Game 3 of a 5-game set at Fenway. Top 6 with New York up 7-5. It's Georgie. Bases clearing triple off the wall. His second triple of the season, 7th career. Yankees win 13-5 and move a season-high 4.5 games up on Boston in the AL East. That'll do it for this ESPN News Update. A reminder, Yankees-Red Sox continues tonight on ESPN at 8 p.m. Eastern. Time now for the second half between Team USA and China. Jim Durham, take it away.
All right, Cindy, thanks a lot. Time to check out our highlight reel in the first half.
Well, J.D., 13 assists by Team USA. China had no ability to put any pressure on Team USA from a defensive standpoint. They played man-to-man, which is basically suicide. Team USA very, very proficient. C.Paul with the great dish. Ball movement was terrific. Turnovers by China, 12. That led to open court baskets once again.
Time now for the Chevy game track in the first half. 51% shooting for USA, 40% for China. The assists, as Fran mentioned, 13 for the United States and 12 turnovers for China, 2 for the U.S. 63-38, the United States with a halftime lead over China. We'll be back with more after these messages.
Welcome to subliminal advertising. For best results, do not blink.
Lime. Lemon. Lime. Lemon. Lime. Lemon.
Subliminal advertising complete.
Check ball. Check up. Ball in. Check up, come on. My ball, top. Ready? You here all night? Yeah.
It's simple. One family, one vehicle. The all-new Chevy Suburban, with seating for up to 9 and an estimated 21 miles per gallon highway. Suburban, an American revolution.
Summertime is sports time with Comcast, TNT, and ESPN. When it counts, you lay it all on the line. And second place isn't an option. The drama of NASCAR, available in high def all season long. TNT HD, Comcast Channel 754. The players to watch, and the plays that make them great. The incredible catches, and the long ball. Watch Major League Baseball all season long on the ESPN channels. When it counts, it's on Comcast.
Check out the new hit movies you can order on demand. And look what you can order right now.
He's 35 years old. He still lives at home. That is not normal.
In order for Trip to leave the nest, he needs a little push. Failure to Launch, starring Matthew McConaughey and Sarah Jessica Parker.
Hello, my name is Violet.
Ultraviolet, now on demand. Hit movies without the trip to the video store. On demand with Comcast Digital Cable.
ESPN2's presentation of USA Basketball, brought to you by Nike Air, more world, and Sprite with Lyman, proud sponsor of the NBA. Obey.
25-point lead for the U.S. at the half over China. Time for our Gatorade Cooler Talk. And tonight we take a look at the NBA's influence on international competition. And Fran, in this tournament alone, look at some of the names.
Well, this is why I call David Stern Dr. Frankenstein, because this is what he's created, JD. Over 80 NBA players were international players this year, some of them in this tournament. And you can put together a great all-star team of international players when you look at Yao Ming and Nowitzki, Ginobili, Gasol, Tony Parker, who's going to be out with the broken finger, but some outstanding players.
And the U.S. will be seeing a number of them in their next game on Tuesday morning against Slovenia. Our McDonald's enduring moment comes to us from Sydney, Australia. At any Olympics, pin trading could be considered a sport. In 2000, USA basketball team member Ray Allen found himself totally immersed in swapping pins.
Job well done.
D.Wade and the United States on top of China 63-38. The third quarter straight ahead.
ESPN2's presentation of USA Basketball, brought to you by State Farm. Great service, great rates. You can get it all from State Farm. And Chevrolet, America's brand. Chevy, an American revolution.
This time I'm gonna be KG.
All right, I'm D.Wade. 2, 1. All day, baby, all day.
What? We're in 3 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby.
I'll tell you what's coming, and you still won't hit it. Bring it then. Why don't you try it underhand?
Want to keep the game going? Gatorade.
Ready to lose again?
Shut your big head up.
Is it in you?
Introducing the hands-free NBA lineup. Distinctive LCD televisions for basketball fans of all ages. Hands XXL. Hands Ball Champions. Hands Backboard. Hands-free. Find yourself. Sports. Fantasy. Style. LCD televisions as unique as the people that own them. Hands-free. My style. My TV.
Whether you're dominating the playground, the last one to leave the gym, or you're big time like Mike Bibby, the Better Basketball videos will explode your game.
Even I've learned some things, working with Better Basketball. It's just unbelievable.
I've seen so many different videos over the years. You will not find finer tapes than what Better Basketball is offering.
Learn more about all 7 DVDs from BetterBasketball.com. If you buy 6, the 7th is free. Order now at BetterBasketball.com.
Look at this! You were in the zone! Will Donnie like me better in the red or the black? Because he just asked me out.
And you said yes?
Looks like somebody missed snack time.
Get back to your senses with a new way to snack. McDonald's Snack Wrap. Tender all-white premium chicken breast meat with lettuce, cheddar jack cheese, and ranch sauce in a soft flour tortilla. Try it for just $1.29.
What was I thinking?
That you get to wear new shoes.
ESPN Fantasy Football is free. Come play where the experts are. With coverage on TV, radio, online, in the magazine, and on mobile ESPN. We have all the tools and info you'll need to win. Play for free at ESPN.com.
Sign up for a free 30-day trial and get a $150 signing bonus. See mobileespn.com for details.
And welcome back to our coverage of USA basketball. A big lead over China as we're about to start play in the third quarter. More basketball action coming up. The WNBA playoffs continue on this Sunday. First at 1:30 Eastern on ABC, the Mystics and the Sun. And then at 5 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2, it'll be the Storm taking on the LA Sparks. The first round of the WNBA playoffs roll on ABC and ESPN2.
Tough place to play. Mohegan Sun, Mike Tebow doing a great job with the Connecticut Sun.
Shane Battier and the United States ready to begin play here in the third with Fran Fraschilla. I'm Jim Durham, and this is the Hokkaido Prefectural Sports Center in Sapporo City, Japan, for the second game for the United States in the FIBA Basketball Championship. In Group D, the U.S. trying to move into that top spot with Italy so far with 2 wins apiece. LeBron James missing the first shot of the second half. And China, which has not only 10 points from Yao Ming so far in the game, but they've also hit on 6 3-point field goals. So,
well, you're down 25. It's hard to say that's kept them in the game, but it's kept them close.
How about that? Yao from the perimeter. That's his second field goal.
China really using this game just to improve. They really haven't tried to play to win. They wouldn't be playing man-to-man.
Carmelo Anthony turns it over. The U.S. with its third turnover. China had 12 in the first half. There's another 3-point hit. And it's a 20-point lead for the United States.
Well, that's his 4th 3, Wong. And again, they get those open looks out of transition where they don't have to play against that pressure D.
So, China with the first 6 points of the second half. And off the drive, we get contact and a foul called. Offensive foul.
This young man, Wu Wei, picking up his 3rd. He actually had a tryout with the Sacramento Kings last year. He's their most experienced guard, so he does not want to get in foul trouble.
Chris Paul at the point for the U.S. Anthony missing from long range. The second half of this game is the way the United States began the game against Puerto Rico. Yao overshoots the rim. LeBron James nearly turns it over. It's Battier open. That's a 3-ball if it goes. Cleared by Howard. And on the foul, Paul. Chris Paul missing the shot.
And one thing Mike Krzyzewski talked about at the very beginning of the training camp was to try to dominate quarter by quarter. That's a little bit unrealistic, but the point being that no matter how much you lead in the scoreboard, that in order to improve this team, to have it ready for the medal round, you must continue to play with great intensity.
That foul, by the way, was on Carmelo Anthony off the ball, and that is his third.
We saw glimpses of play, JD, in that Puerto Rico game where the USA lost their concentration. They've got to ignore the scoreboard right now.
China opening with 5 straight points. Make it 8 straight points, and that's the 5th 3-point field goal for Wong. All of his field goals from 3.
He had 8 points in the exhibition game. He hit 2 threes, but he's been red hot.
The USA lead down to 17. Anthony turned away by Yao Ming. A good surge by China here at the start of the third.
Pass, great pass. What a look by Yao.
And 10 points in a row for China to start play in this third quarter. That is 17 points tonight for Wong. And Yao Ming called for the personal foul.
Well, Yao looked like he established 2 feet on the ground, legal guarding position. But the foul goes against him, and this is a little bit of a concern, JD. You're going to play against much better teams in the medal round, and you cannot lose your focus.
Here goes Anthony. Still the U.S. as Anthony on the second one gets the United States their first points of the second half. And LeBron James called for the personal foul here. That's 2 fouls on LeBron.
Well, I mentioned the analogy. This is like playing a non-conference game in college against a mediocre opponent. The competition level is going to get much better than China.
6:39 left in the third. Coming in.
Another open shot.
And finally a miss from Wong. He's hit 5 3-pointers already. Here's a steal and run out for LeBron James.
Well, Wong with just a sloppy play got into the lane, tried to kick it out.
So after China had closed to within 15, the U.S. back up by 19. Yao with the offensive rebound. Yep, and a foul.
Well, Mike Krzyzewski went to a little bit full court pressure. That opened up the court for China off the missed 3. Nobody in real good position to contain Yao, and Yao with the chance at a 3-point play.
Battier called for the personal foul. Yao with 15 points in the game. China back to within 16. And here's a foul called on China on Yi.
Well, China has had no luck guarding Team USA in man-to-man defense, but again, Coach Kozlowski is building for the future. And zone defense is really not a primary weapon for them.
Dwight Howard going to the line for the U.S. Made all 6 of his free throw attempts in the first half. And scored 8 points. It's just his second miss in the tournament.
How about this, J.D.? We talked about this in preparation for this game. In 8 games in World Championship competition and in Olympic play, China has lost to the United States by an average of over 40 points.
Their closest was a 19-point verdict in the World Games in '02 at Indianapolis, when the U.S. won 84-65. So a spirited start by China here in this third quarter. Remember, they were down 25 at the half. And they came out scoring the first 10 points. U.S. forcing the turnover.
Well, we talked about the dribble penetration of Puerto Rico being an Achilles heel yesterday. Today it's been the open looks off set plays for China's guards and knocking down those threes.
And especially Song Tao Wong, who has 5 of them. LeBron James working underneath. Tip won't go. Yao wrestles the rebound away. And China looking to cut that deficit back to 15 once more, but they turn it over. Yao with a steal.
Look at that ball handling.
And runaway freight. They've called a foul on Yao. He can't believe it.
He's got to be careful he doesn't get a technical right here. Yao made the great play, and at some point on that trip up the floor, he's got to pick his dribble up, because you're right, J.D., he had no way to stop.
So as we near the 5-minute mark for the third, the U.S. up 17.
Well, we've seen a little bit out of Yao today, both inside and out.
That time working inside to LeBron James.
Again, there's no way China can match up physically man-to-man. United States will see much more zone as they get further along in this tournament.
And another perimeter shot. That one doesn't drop as LeBron James advances. Yep, and a foul.
Well, again, Coach Kozlowskis, they're not going to play zone, so this is suicide when you play LeBron man-to-man.
And LeBron James will be on the line looking for the three-point play when we come back. An early surge by China here in the second half, but the U.S. up by 21.
What? You said we were going to be paying less.
I'm State Farm Agent Demetrius Simon, and this is a true story.
Making ends meet is tough with a new baby.
When another company kept promising to save us money on car insurance, we believed them.
Guess what? We were charged more.
A lot more.
We switched back to State Farm because we've got an agent we can count on.
Anybody can promise you a good price, but nobody takes care of you like State Farm. Call an agent today. I think someone's had an accident. Oh.
Like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there.
Okay, what's with the phone? You had that out all night. Oh, it's not just a phone. It takes photos with this little camera, and it also records little video clips.
It's all access.
Nice. Way to move the ball, guys.
And it's all new. NBA Access with Ahmad Rashad. Behind-the-scenes drama with a star-studded cast. The most compelling personalities.
Come on, Joe. Let's go have some fun playing basketball.
In places you've never gone before. Revealing stories told by people who live the NBA dream.
There's nothing that you can do in life that gives you that kind of thrill.
On NBA Access with Ahmad Rashad, that's me, Saturdays on ABC. Check your local listings.
Well, we understand that a putback followed by Carmelo Anthony earlier in this third quarter was disallowed, so the United States with a 19-point lead, 70-51, and Anthony has 10 points in the game. LeBron James starting to smile as his offensive game has come to life. 6 of his 8 in this third quarter. LeBron with 9 points tonight, scored 15 against Puerto Rico.
Now, if you're China, JD, and you're in the half court, I don't know why you wouldn't want Yao to touch it every time down now.
And then off of that, you'll get your open threes.
Absolutely.
But with the trapezoid lane in international play, that's why the low post game, there's another long one.
Well, you're right, but you still have to make sure he's shown a deftness of passing ability today.
LeBron James fouled by Yao. 3 fouls on Yao Ming. Elton Brand, I should say, gets to the free throw line for the United States.
At the line for USA, number 14, Brand. 2 shots.
Realizing you're right, it's a little bit more difficult to post up, yet Yao, if he's done something better as his NBA career has gone on, is that ability to get deep in the lane and then get out of that 3-second area.
But that is why it has so influenced the perimeter game in international play. Heinrich knocks it away.
Mike Krzyzewski now using more full court pressure. A lot of times a coach will do this just to pick up the energy level of his team.
It's Wade defending for the U.S. Heinrich the steal. Off to Wade. Oh, nice. 17 for D.Wade, back to a 21-point lead.
See that gamble right there allowed the Chinese player to get to the lane. And that's what we talked about. You pick up full court, but don't gamble in the backcourt because then you're playing 4 against 5. And D.Wade shaking his head. Elton Brand
called for that foul. That's 3 fouls on Elton Brand. And Zhu, Fangu Zhu.
At the line for China, number 9, Sun. 2 shots.
It's Liu Sun on the free throw line. Scoreless so far in the game.
This young guy, actually, his Chinese team played in America last season in the ABA, the American Basketball Association. He's only 20. He's more of a passing forward. Some people think he will be drafted eventually.
3.5 for the third. Zone by China. Brand is fouled. Count the basket. Yi with his second foul.
Anytime you attack a zone, you try to attack the middle of the paint. That contracts the defense, and that allows Brand to get free on the baseline. Good execution by D.Wade with the dribble.
Good recognition by the United States with that zone look.
But you're right. They haven't seen much zone today.
Right, but I guarantee you they've been working on it in practice.
Yep. The teams that are serious about beating the United States as they get to the 8th finals, the quarterfinals, and the semis will play much more zone than China has today.
3-point play by Elton Brand. U.S. up by 22. China having problems on the inbounds. Wade the steal.
Well, the little point guard had no angle to pass it to Yi because of the backboard. You see, he can't throw it high because of the backboard, and he throws it right at the level that Wade can pick up the steal.
19 points for Wade, and the U.S. up by 24. So after China had reduced a 25-point halftime lead to 15, Yao Ming coming back, the U.S. has extended it back out. Again, now the United States off the inbounds. And it is 82-56. Joe Johnson heard from for the first time in the second half. 4 points for him. Another near steal. The ball up for grabs. The U.S. has it. Joe Johnson on a three.
Boy, can he shoot it, J.D. To me, he is an X factor for this team as they get deeper in the tournament because of his defensive prowess and his long-range ability to knock down shots.
A 29-point lead for the United States, and it happens quickly with this USA bunch.
Well, China's guards very inexperienced. You see the full court pressure being utilized more in the second half after China made that early run in the beginning of the third quarter. This is a developmental game for this young Chinese team with 9 players under 25 years old.
And there's some contact here, and China turns it over. About 2.5 minutes left. Third quarter. The U.S. put 111 points up against Puerto Rico. And the way things are shaping up late in the third, they may hit the century mark before this quarter's over. Kirk Heinrich connecting.
Well, that full court pressure has really juiced the U.S. in terms of their energy level at the end of this quarter.
Antoine Jamison whistled for the foul. And it will put
At the line for China,
number 5, Liu Wei, on the line.
See, Coach Kozlowskis, most of the teams in Group D realize they don't have a chance to beat Team USA. China particularly using this game really to try to just hold the fort down until they can get some wins later this week, try to qualify for that final 16.
But it's going to be difficult for them because, well, you got to figure they're going to be 0-2 after this one. Wade knocked down on his shot attempt. A foul on Mo Kei.
Well, they have shredded China's man-to-man defense tonight, and if you ask yourself, why aren't they playing more zone? Again, it gets back to the philosophy Coach Kozlowskis has. We're trying to build our program for 2008 and not necessarily try to beat USA today, something that would be totally improbable.
Wade scored 13 in the United States victory over Puerto Rico and is working on a 19-point game tonight. He had 11 of them in the second quarter. And Yao Ming is going out, being replaced by Yi.
He's got a very interesting Danny Almonte type story. He's listed as born in 1987. There are some around the international circuit that think he was born in 1984. He's an NBA prospect anyway, JD, but if he's 19 years old, he's certainly an impressive 19-year-old player.
2 more for Wade as the U.S. goes up 90-57.
Full court pressure really not designed to steal it as much as up the energy level of Team USA. It certainly paid off at the end of this quarter.
Good defense by the United States. There's Joe Johnson out defending on the perimeter. And against the shot clock, it came too late. So a shot clock violation. Things going a little more difficult for China after that quick start to the third, in which they opened by scoring the first 10.
Team USA will not be able to have these kind of momentary lapses against the quality teams that they'll see in the second week of this tournament.
Brand.
Saw Argentina last night, JD, very impressive. Ginobili was outstanding. Nocioni.
Ah, there's a nice drive. Heinrich comes out with a loose ball. Jamison missing for 3. Tapped out by China, but controlled by the United States. And on the Wade drive inside, a foul called on Feng Du.
Again, no way China can match up man-to-man versus this Team USA ability to slice and dice defenses.
Yao Ming with a 15-point game so far. Most of it coming at the foul line. Wade with a miss. His first miss tonight. He hit 5 in a row to start out. 22 points for D.Wade. Less than a minute for the third. In the crowd tonight at the Hokkaido Sports Center, a lot of chants for USA, so a number of Americans in the house, and that's Liu off the glass. And right back at the other end, Joe Johnson.
A great look down the floor. Joe Johnson gets out in transition.
The final seconds of the third.
Mike Krzyzewski must feel like this is a non-conference game in November for Duke.
And there's another three-point field goal. That one by Liu. And the third quarter has come to an end at Sapporo City, and the United States in command with a 31-point lead.
The all-new 2007 Chevy Tahoe. With 320 horsepower and an EPA estimated 22 highway miles per gallon. Get there like never before. Tahoe, an American revolution.
Mondays, usually the day when you ask yourself, what am I doing with my life?
You're saying Jay-Z has one of these?
And Sunday was nice, but will I ever be able to feel my thumb again? But Monday Night Football is coming to ESPN, and soon Mondays will mean your special hot sauce and pure and uncreepy sports fanaticism. So buck up, little Bronco, because this Monday is one Monday closer to Monday Night Football.
Covering the business side of sports. And these days, that's half the game.
NHL playoff ratings continue to slide into the toilet. The Masters, ratings down 13% this year.
Professional sports are more than just games and athletes. It's a business.
San Antonio pulls their $200 million stadium offer. Can an owner from out of state get the Blazers out of Portland?
Sports Business Radio, Sundays at 6 on CNW 14. The business side of sports is more interesting than the game itself.
Chuck Liddell is a quintessential predator. And this one is over quickly. He's a true warrior.
Light heavyweight champion, the Iceman, Chuck Liddell, puts his title on the line against the submission master, Hinato Babalu Sobo. The Ultimate Fighting Championship presents UFC 62, Liddell versus Sobo. Live Saturday, August 26th from the Mandalay Bay Event Center in Las Vegas on Events in Demand pay-per-view.
In Sapporo City, the United States with a 33-point lead after 3. Remember those 2 points they took away from Carmelo Anthony earlier in the third quarter? Well, they have given them back, and Carmelo has 12 points in the game, and it's a 33-point lead with China in possession opening the fourth quarter.
Well, Jim, I've been with you 2 games. I've watched you keep meticulous notes. I knew you were right.
I didn't know that. But the threes continue to drop for China.
Well, yesterday it was dribble penetration. Today, too many open threes. And again, this is not a good China team in this tournament. they will see teams later on in the tournament that will take advantage of those defensive lapses.
Carmelo Anthony trying to feed it into Howard. And the U.S. keeps possession. And underneath on the rebound, there's contact. Time now for the Nike storyline here early in the fourth quarter. 22 for Wade. Chris Paul had 13 all in the first half.
I think when you talk about Team USA, you really never have to worry about leading scorers because it will change from night to night with this kind of firepower.
As Paul came out of the corner, there's a foul whistled against China. Liu Wei has his, I believe that's his fourth. It's the second team foul. Off the inbounds, nice.
Well, that's a great little inbounds play when the defender doesn't keep his eye on the ball. Chris Paul read that with his eyes, with LeBron just threw it up there.
That's a good play by China. Yi scoring, and he has 8 points in the game. Howard throws it down on Yi.
Well, Yi looked like he was on a trampoline on that other end of the floor, but this will be on the highlights tonight. Ouch.
And Howard with those two has reached double figures, 11 points for Howard. The United States with a chance to hit the century mark here. During their exhibition run, in 5 games, they averaged 110. They scored 111 against Puerto Rico in game 1. That tip in by Anthony won't count.
Team USA has averaged about 110 points a game versus China in Olympic and World Championship competition, heading that direction.
And, you know, again, these are 10-minute quarters. This is a 40-minute game, and to average 110 points a game, that's considered quite high scoring. Ball goes out of bounds as it was kicked out by China, so the U.S. now with a chance to go over 100.
See, China stays man-to-man.
Howard. Tip jam by Howard.
That's a quick second jump. He misses the shot, goes right after it.
It's almost like it was a pass to himself. And China tried to replay that at the other end. Yi. Howard the rebound.
Yi's going to be a pretty good player.
Chris Paul with a handoff to Bosch. And the foul against China puts Bosch on the line.
China with a team again, 9 players under 25. They're already qualified, JD, as you mentioned earlier, for the 2008 Olympic Games in Beijing because
they're the host country.
Exactly.
Yao Ming coming back on for China. And Chris Bosch scoreless so far for the United States. 3 for 4 in game 1 from the line against Puerto Rico. So now all of the American players have scored with the exception of Brad Miller.
Chris Bosch had better get used to international basketball next year. He's got Andrea Bargnani, the #1 pick from Italy. Garbajosa from Spain will be joining that club. Brian Colangelo putting together sort of a team that an open court Phoenix Suns type group.
That's an exciting brand of basketball, no question.
TJ Ford will be their point guard.
Right at the rim. That's what China wants to get for Yao Ming.
That's the pass from Sun Yu, the 6'9" point guard. Good court vision.
Straightaway 3 won't go as the U.S. brings it back up by 33. Showtime. Anthony working hard. Now it's Bosch trying to find an opening against Yao. And the U.S. turns it over.
Well, Bosch tried to get the ball to the rim. Yao just stood there. Remember, in international play, there's no defensive 3-second call, so Yao can just plant himself underneath the rim.
3 minutes into the fourth quarter. Hey, Yao looking good on that one.
Tell you what, Yao has done a little bit of everything tonight. If you're the Houston Rockets and Jeff Van Gundy, you've got to be pleased with what you've seen.
He has scored 19 after his 30-point outing the other night against Italy, and Dwight Howard unable to finish. Yao picking up the foul.
Well, again, LeBron able to get into the heart of the defense. Good defender never helps up. That time Yao came up a little bit. Howard snuck behind him on the baseline.
That's 4 fouls on Yao Ming. And Howard shooting 2 for the U.S. Tuesday morning at 6:30, it'll be game 3 for the United States, taking on Slovenia. We'll have it here on ESPN2.
We got a chance to see Slovenia in a very close game with Italy. Italy squeaking out a solid win.
Slovenia now 1-1 in pool play. Italy 2-0. The U.S. will be 2-0 after this game. Yao clears for China. Nothing doing on the 3. Yao on the putback, and 2 shots coming. There was the Italy win over Slovenia that we were talking about.
Well, and JD, if you think that Italy and Team USA are the 2 best teams in Group D, which we do. Yep. Then China has lost to those teams in the first 2 days. So there is a chance that they can pick up a couple wins in advance.
Remember, they have to finish in the top 4 to advance. The top 4 in each pool advances.
And then it still boggles my mind that after 5 pool play games, everything comes down to a Sweet 16 tournament, basically.
Puerto Rico evens up its record with a win tonight. That's a 3 try by Anthony. And Bosch trying to put it down on Yao. The foul called. That would be 5 on Yao Ming.
Well, and that'll send him to the bench in international play.
Yao unhappy with the call, but he goes out with China down by 30.
Well, anybody who thinks Yao Ming does not play with great passion is mistaken.
21 points tonight for Yao Ming, so 51 scored in the tournament in 2 games, and he also had 10 rebounds to go along with his 21 points. He's almost averaged a double-double. He had 9 rebounds in game 1.
That's a pretty healthy 59 points in 2 games against the 2 best teams in his pool. That could be an exciting year in Houston. Rafer Alston healthy.
Tracy McGrady healthy.
I guess that's a little more important than Rafer Alston being healthy. No offense to...
And Yao Ming appears to be healthy.
Yep.
Oh, the U.S. jumps the ball, gets the steal, and Dwight Howard with the jam.
The score is wrong. It's 108.
Well, the guard play for China, as we talked about, an Achilles heel, and that has certainly been a factor today.
The United States on its way to naming its own final with 5:30 left.
We see the little 17-year-old Chen in the game now. Played very well against Team USA in that exhibition game. He reminds me of Bobby Hurley a little bit.
Yeah.
He hit 2 free throws, not 1.
You can hear
Foul on China, number
Coach Krzyzewski informing the scorers table that the score is incorrect. Well, it would not be the first time tonight that the score was incorrect.
Welcome to international basketball.
There you go, 108 to 73. So that would make it 109.
Well, and I say that because there's always going to be a language barrier, no matter where you play a tournament in the world.
But what's that got to do with math?
You might be right.
You just add 1, add 2, add 3, whatever it takes. As far as we know, that is the correct score right there.
Well, I always liked coaching teams in international play because the referees really never understood what I was talking about. And that's a good thing sometimes.
It's a good thing most times.
Yeah.
Well, Wong, number 7, who was on that three-point hit parade in the first half, he had 5 threes, 17 points scored, and Dwight Howard called for a foul.
Nice dribble penetration and the dish off. Of course, Yi continues to show that he's got a chance to be a good player.
Number 11, Yi, 2 shots.
Yi shooting 2.
We'll see a couple guys in this pool. Marco Bellinelli, the 20-year-old guard, brilliant Italian guard. We'll see later on this week. Yi. These guys will be part of that future we talked about that David Stern has created.
9 points tonight for Yi. He had 9 in their opening game against Italy. 3 wouldn't drop. And China in a hurry, trying to set something up on the perimeter. And it's worked well for them all night.
Well, they've been at their best in transition, shooting those threes. Team USA has not gotten to defend the three-point line.
There's a block, but it's followed in by Anthony. Carmelo Anthony scoring and a timeout taken. Yao Ming has already fouled out. He greets his teammates as they come to the bench.
Here's Michael at the foul line. He shoots over Elo. No good. Michael misses. Cleveland wins. They're waving beyond the around.
If you're a fraction off, it can change everything. On the field and in the labs, where Gatorade scientists test and retest athletes, so we know exactly what their bodies demand. Precision counts. Out there.
Bulls win! Bulls win! Yeah!
And in here.
For 10 years, the WNBA has inspired people of all ages. The WNBA family cares about the community. They encourage young girls and women to develop a healthy, safe, and active lifestyle, and are committed to helping children understand the value and joy of reading. The WNBA continues the tradition of combining basketball and service to the community. WNBA cares.
After a practice day tomorrow for the United States, they will next be in action on Tuesday morning at 6:30 against Slovenia here on ESPN2 in Game 3 in their pool play in Group D. I know this for sure. They're up big over China tonight. What I don't know for sure is if that score is exactly right. We've been a point or two off here and there throughout the evening, but that's what they're showing right now, 111-77. China handling the pressure this time. And with the offensive rebound, they'll have another crack at it. A deep 2 rolls out. China, though, 12 of 26 from 3. And Yi coming up with a rebound, a foul on Brad Miller. 2 fouls on Miller.
Number 13, Miller. His second foul.
Tuesday's game, JD, will feature Jaka Lakovic, Sani Bacerovic.
That's easy for you to say.
Boštjan Nakbar. Don't forget Rasho Nesterovic. But actually, that's a very solid team. Not a great team, but a solid team made up of a number of guys that, as we mentioned, play in the NBA.
Overshot the mark that time on the 3, but Yi is there to follow it in.
I've had a chance to see this young man for 3 years now. And we've seen a little bit of that great athleticism today.
U.S. turns it over. Wade and Heinrich misconnecting. 3.5 for the 4th.
Only the 6th turnover for Team USA, so they've been proficient. But remember, China has really given them no defensive pressure at all today.
A nice feed inside, and it's Yi on the finish. Good play by Wong.
This is a young man that's about 7 feet tall. Watch that quick jump ability.
Wade, as the ball is kicked by China. Moquet on the kickball.
Moquet, some thought that he might be drafted a couple of years ago. He's 24. You know, the interesting thing about the Chinese culture, JD, it's one about not putting yourself above the team and the group. And I really think that's influenced the fact that their guards are not very creative. You know, you don't see a lot of flashy play from their guards.
Well, D.Wade has had a big scoring night for the United States. 24 points for Wade. As the U.S. is cruising with less than 3 minutes remaining.
Pickup and SUV. Gasoline and E85 ethanol. Haul and tow. The all-new 2007 Chevy Avalanche, the most flexible vehicle out there.
John from Dick Hanna's Acura Portland, home to the luxury experience without the luxury price, where you can always find a luxury used car at a price you can afford.
Here's a 99 Acura CL, just $169 a month.
What a steal!
Hey, look at this 2000 Acura Integra for just $199 a month.
What a deal!
Oh my, what about an 01 VW Passat, just $199 a month?
Well, that's amazing. I'm speechless. At Dick Hanna's Acura Portland, become a customer for life with tires, car washes, rental cars for life, and more. Shop a huge selection of luxury used cars, all without the luxury price. We've got something for every taste, every budget. Let us help you into a quality used car at payments you can afford.
Check out this 99 Toyota 4Runner, only $229 a month.
Wait, that can't be right.
Wait, one more. This 01 Chevy Tahoe is just $249 per month.
Only at Dick Hanna's Acura Portland on the east side, where you can always find a luxury used car without the luxury price.
Early in the 3rd quarter, this was a 15-point United States lead. And then the U.S., with its pressure defense, put the pedal to the metal and decided things pretty much once and for all. The U.S. was up 31 at the end of 3. Chen.
Yep. 17 years old.
His first points of the tournament.
He played very well in that exhibition game. The U.S. players were very impressed with his quickness. You got an example there.
Joe Johnson getting into the lane. And the foul is on Yi. That's his 4th.
Chen is one of those guys, JD, that did not come out of the sports system that China is known for. He's a kid that played 3-on-3 basketball. Some of those sneaker company sponsored hip-hop type tournaments.
Joe Johnson's first free throw attempt in the tournament. And that's 11 points for Joe Johnson in this game. The U.S. backing away from the pressure defense, but even in the half court, the United States very effective as Chen got to the rim again.
He's the only guy I've seen. Now, you notice at half court, he put the ball through his legs a couple times. This is what we talked about. He's the new breed in China, having some of that American-style creativity.
So Chen has scored the last 3.
Son of a fisherman. Just fell in love with the game, worked on it.
This will be the 9th win by the United States against China in international competition as Kirk Heinrich delivers. Heinrich hadn't scored since early in the 3rd. And so far in the game, he has 6.
Now, this pool play, you play 5 games in 6 days. You mentioned the off day tomorrow. Then you regroup and get ready for the final 16. Chen wants a hand. Well, he doesn't have it right now.
Offensive rebound and put back by Song Tao Shang. D.Wade, an off-the-hip maneuver trying to hand to Miller. You know, I would venture to say Wade understands Miller hasn't scored.
Yeah.
Let's get 2 for Brad.
Exactly, especially not playing yesterday. And you know, it's interesting. He played very, very well in the exhibition tour. Shot the ball extremely well. 5 of 6 from 3. Didn't miss a free throw. Look at that.
When you're looking ahead to the next opponent, Slovenia, and with Rasho Nesterovic, some guys of that ilk on that club, you'd think Miller probably would get some minutes.
Well, yeah, I don't see why he hadn't played anymore unless there's an injury we don't know about. But you're right. He's a European-style player, Miller. He can guard those mobile big guys.
Chen again. Miller taking it out of the air, and at the other end, it's Wade. A China foul will put Wade on the line. Dwayne Wade, 24 points in this one.
Chen either has great freedom from Coach Kozlowskis to do his thing, or that's the reason we've only seen him in the final 3 minutes of this game.
Well, you know, you said he is only 17.
That's right.
And this is so, I guess, Coach Kozlowskis, you know, he probably feels, look, I know I'm going to be in control of your minutes.
Yeah.
I just want you on the floor getting some experience.
That's right.
We'll have to take the mistakes as we go.
But you see, he's kind of a clever player.
And he's firing away. As the ball belongs to the U.S. Less than a minute for the 4th. And the United States with, I know they defeated China big in the exhibition tour, and in fact they won all of their games big with the exception of Brazil, but I think so far this is the best performance from USA that we've seen.
Well, it is, but keep in mind they've seen no zone today. And
but when they did see it, it was instant recognition, and they scored off it.
Yeah, and that's important because they, as we mentioned, they will see more of that from the better teams in this tournament. But they've been able to play today.
A three-pointer goes down.
Mike Krzyzewski having Bobby Hurley flashbacks.
And a foul here on China. It looks like Wade will be getting back to the free throw line. Less than 20 seconds left. As you get a look at the two coaches.
Well, when you look in pool play, JD, you need 2 wins to know that you're going to advance. They'll take the top 4. So now China has got to defeat Puerto Rico, Senegal, Slovenia. Get 2 wins there. That's not going to be easy.
Right. That foul, by the way, was on Wade, so it went the other way. Du Feng splits the free throws. Wade comes out with it. So the U.S. can take the time off the clock and walk off with a 31-point win tonight as they put 121 up on the board. That's their 9th win all time without a loss against China in international competition. D.Wade leading the way offensively for the United States. He had 26, and 121-90 is the final.
Must be about 2:30. Cheryl's using correction fluid to do a French manicure. Brandon's got himself another tosicle. And Adam will be attacked by killer bees in 5, 4, 3, 2. Looks like somebody missed snack time.
Get back to your senses with a new way to snack. McDonald's Snack Wrap. Tender all-white premium chicken breast meat with lettuce, cheddar jack cheese, and ranch sauce in a soft flour tortilla. Try it for just $1.29.
Nice nails, Cheryl.
This time I'm gonna be KG. Alright, I'm D.Wade. 2, 1. All day, baby. All day. What? Ready, Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. I'll tell you what's coming, and you still won't hit it. Bring it then. Why don't you try it underhand?
Want to keep the game going? Gatorade.
Ready to lose again? Shut your big head up.
Is it in you?
What? You said we were going to be paying less.
I'm State Farm Agent Demetrius Simon, and this is a true story.
Making ends meet is tough with a new baby.
When another company kept promising to save us money on car insurance, we believed them.
Guess what? We were charged more.
A lot more.
We switched back to State Farm because we've got an agent we can count on.
Anybody can promise you a good price, but nobody takes care of you like State Farm. Call an agent today.
I think someone's had an accident. Oh.
Like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there.
It begins with over 8,000 players, and anyone can win. From the first flop to the final table, watch the game's brightest stars and biggest dreamers walk the line between skill and luck. Who will win $12 million in cash? The one and only World Series of Poker main event begins Tuesday at 8 on ESPN, presented by Milwaukee's Best Light.
121-90. The United States 2-0, and China drops to 0-2. The Sprite plays of the day. A lot of this.
Well, I don't care how good Mike Krzyzewski's teams at Duke were. He's never had a 6th man like D.Wade. That's for sure.
Even with that Chinese size, the United States continued to attack the rim throughout. And D.Wade would finish with 26 points to lead the U.S. to victory. Carmelo Anthony and Dwight Howard had 16 apiece. China was led by Yao Ming. He had 21, but he fouled out. Yao also had 10 rebounds for China throughout. Now, coming up later in the week on Tuesday at 6:30 a.m. Eastern, Slovenia. Then what should be the best game in pool play, the U.S. against Italy. Coming up on the 23rd, Senegal to close it out on the 24th of August. And remember, all games at 6:30 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. So the U.S. trying to go 5-0 and stay unbeaten. They can do it if they sweep the last 3 after having defeated Puerto Rico and China in their first 2 games out China, as we mentioned, having lost its first game to Italy, is now 0-2. Don't forget, coming up later on ABC and ESPN2, the WNBA playoffs continue. The Mystics and the Sun on ABC at 1:30 Eastern, and the Storm and the Sparks at 5 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. Good day for the red, white, and blue as they cruise to a 121-90 victory over China. Don't forget to join us bright and early Tuesday morning at 6:30 when the United States takes on Slovenia. That's going to do it for our coverage today. For Fran Frischella, Jim Durham saying so long and reminding you to stay tuned for the Cindy Garrison Show.